Welcome into this edition of The Big Three. I'm Heather Harrington along with Will West. Will, shortest weekend to be excited about the NCAA tournament ever. I mean, we went from absolute rockin' March Madness Friday to March Sadness when Monday rolled around.
Yeah, look, the Vols fell in love with the three-point shot. They hit 3 of them early, and they just kept throwing them up.
Yeah.
Didn't work the ball inside out. I can't help but wonder, is Grant Williams injured? Has he been dealing with some type of injury they haven't told us about? For about 2.5, 3 weeks now, Grant hasn't fought for position on the block. He's settled for, high post, 12, 13 feet away from the basket, and then tried to make his move. Either way, look, Tennessee lost this game in the first 39 minutes of the game, not the last minute of the game.
For sure.
And if they don't throw up so many three-point shots, fall in love with the three-point shot, refuse to give the ball to Admiral or Grant inside on the block, which is their game, I think they're still rolling right now, and they have a great shot to get to even the Final Four. But it's a young team. They're inexperienced. We've seen in the past during this season when they lose games, a lot of times it's because they fall in love with that outside shot.
Yeah.
And this time, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. They died by it.
A couple of keys, Admiral getting into foul trouble that hurt. You had 2 separate 6-minute scoring droughts, which was actually more Lady Vol-esque than Vol-esque of this season. And then also Kyle Alexander not playing. I mean, no one will ever be able to convince me that he wasn't worth at least 1 point.
Right? 2 points
1
wins
or
the
2
game.
to get that win for Tennessee. But still, I mean, a great, amazing season. Mind blown at what this team was able to accomplish.
You're still playing with house money, right? Like,
Absolutely.
no one expected you to be where you were. So this is still a successful year for Rick Barnes, his team, and this program. Disappointing, though, finish to the season. But now look at what they are next year. I mean, the expectation should be that they're a 3 seed again and that they're probably in the top 15 in the nation, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. I'm gonna say, go out on a limb, they are picked to finish second in league play behind Kentucky when the preseason comes around.
I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, it won't be 13th.
It will not.
Okay, let's move on to the Lady Vols. Holly Warlick, obviously a disappointing season by Lady Vol standards. The negatives are starting to mount up, Will, but what does Tennessee do? Because I do think they have to do something. Holly going into the last year of her contract, do they extend or do they come up with a mutual parting?
They had, to me, you have to extend. I'll just say this. If somebody wants to part ways with her, they are a failure as whoever's running that's a failure. It's a horrible decision to do that. That is so dumb. She's the 20th highest paid women's basketball coach in the nation right now. She is, I mean, you're getting your money's worth out of it. The key is this. The key is to get to your goal. Mm-hmm. The goal is for the Lady Vols to compete, be in Final Fours, compete for titles again. And what's the quickest way to get there? It's to, I mean, frankly, you got to light Holly's backside up a little bit and say, hey, call a timeout when your team's panicking and not getting anything done offensively. Make them run set plays. There's nothing wrong with that. Used to, I know Pat would say, rebound and defense and we'll figure out the offensive end. Not in 2018. You can't do that. She's got to get more deliberate on the offensive end. But the idea of, you got to extend her and then don't up the buyout, but extend her another year. If she's unwilling to take that, well, then it is what it is from that point. But the idea that you're going to go get a better coach than what Holly Warlick has done already, a more proven coach than Holly Warlick, it is not going to happen. That is science fiction that is the case.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where they go. Maybe they keep the buyout the same or lower the buyout and go ahead and extend her and give her next season with the number 1 recruiting class coming in. I do want to say a couple of things. Discipline. There's got to be more discipline on this team. An extremely undisciplined team at different times. You can see that in turnovers. You can see that in how they conduct themselves at different points through the season. So somebody has got to learn on that staff to play bad cop at some point. And I would like to see it be Holly. It's going to be a hard transformation for her to undergo. Also, yes, you've got some great athletes on this team. Where are the great basketball players? When are we going to start recruiting some shooters to go along with these amazing athletes and kind of play that nice balanced role of, yes, we can fly down the court, but if we are in a half-court offense, we can run some plays and get some people over.
You got to have somebody that can space the floor. This is basketball these days, is that you drive to the basket, you space the floor. Lady Vols have nobody that can space the floor, and it's been a long time since I've had anyone that can.
Yeah. Not as far back as Carol Lawson, but maybe right after
that. Not that far, yeah, but it's still a little while.
All right, and then to wrap it up, spring practice, the Jeremy Pruitt era has officially begun at the University of Tennessee. Will, what are we going to learn about this team this spring?
Literally nothing. You will learn nothing. They're not, look, Pruitt's just not a talker. They're not going to, I guess they're going to open a few
Yes.
They're going to open a few sessions of practice, but they're not going to show you anything. You also don't have a lot of the guys expected to make an impact for Tennessee on the field, even out there practicing right now. Either they're not here or they're injured. So the biggest thing you're going to learn is how Jeremy Pruitt runs a practice and what his culture's like. That literally might be the only thing you learn out of this entire spring.
I think there is the opportunity, though, for some players to emerge as leaders. There's going to be a lot of adversity for this team, especially when you're going through drills at the pace that he wants to run, for the schedule he wants to run. You're going to get tired. You're going to get fatigued. Who's able to step up during those moments? I think you could see maybe some position leaders emerge, which would be great. You get Shy Tuttle going through an entire spring, which... he's never done that before, so knock on wood. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And then some position changes of note. Princeton Fant moving from tight end to possibly fullback, even though they have him listed as running back. But I think that's an interesting move. And Tyler Bird, we've heard for a long time that this guy is a baller. Let's see it.
Look, I just don't think, and I think that the players will learn a lot. The coaches will learn a lot. I don't believe they'll show the public all of those things.
The media and the public, we're going to be out in the cold.
If you're a fan, too bad. You'll see it in the fall.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll be back next week with more of the Big Three.